Welcome back, everybody. This is, if my memory serves me correctly, issue 10. And this is one of the few issues where I've already given everybody the episode title. So, this is issue 10, Paradise Lost. Um, that name doesn't give too much away from everything, so I have no problem telling everybody that that's going to be the name. So our normal merry band of misfits is back here, and from what I understand, I'm going to apologize 4 episodes in the future about some of the technical difficulties we had back on issue 6. That's completely on my end. I hit some buttons, I messed up a couple of things. We'll just, chalk it up to the fact that I was trying to hide the Swedish fish from the otter.
Hey!
So, again, as I said, our ragtag bunch of misfits is still here. So say hi, misfits.
Hi,
Misfits.
Hey!
Hi, TG.
Pay no attention to the saltiness in Dark's voice. He's just upset over some sports scores. We're not going to rub that in too much, though.
I hate you.
What are sports? I don't know what sports are.
Anyhow,
Sports ball go.
sports ball
Don't
go.
worry, Dark. You'll forget all about it in a few minutes when you start rolling ones and twos again.
Exactly. You'll hate me more.
I hate you too.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called sprinkling salt in the wound. But last time, we had discovered that our favorite place to fight is on the roof of the building. But before we got there, Lutra, who still hasn't revealed his actual name of Lutra to the characters in-game,
Yes.
decided to go back to his apartment to gather up some things and found it ransacked, including the unfortunate shredding death of Charlie the stuffed goldfish. So that happened. At that scene, Lutra discovered a scent that kind of, sort of, reminded him of Malkier. But not quite. Attempted to talk about that, but was interrupted by, another rooftop fight, because that's apparently what happens here. The person who appeared on the rooftop was specifically addressing Malkier about something called the Ark. Just kept referring to hand over the Ark, return the Ark, give me the Ark, that type of thing. Was there for a couple of good swipes, but decided to leave when the 4-on-1 became a little too much. After that, some discussion happened about basically where Lutra came from, and it was determined that really couldn't figure out what the Ark in question was, so the best course of action was or what was discussed, was that potentially whatever ship Lutra came to Earth from outer space, could have potentially been the Ark. From Lutra's memory, it was a desert that he escaped from or crash landed in, allegedly. And the closest desert to where you are in Bay City is, of course, the Mojave. So that was the discussion of heading up to the plane and heading out towards the Mojave Desert and or the Las Vegas area. And we ended last session with everybody getting ready to going on a trip on our favorite rocket ship.
Before we leave, Lucha needs to go talk to Casey real quick.
Who is back in his office.
Let's go. Excuse me, Mr. Casey, sir.
Yes.
I was at my apartment earlier, and I neglected to look to see if there was any of my clothes still intact there, because it was all ransacked and whatnot. I was wondering, do you think maybe you could send someone over and see if there's anything salvageable there at all? I didn't really want to stay. I don't really want to go back there.
We can take care of that.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, thought I should tell you something. Never mind. Thank you.
Hub,
He
can
pats
you,
away.
can you send someone? Of course, Dr. Casey.
Thank you. Lutra walks towards the plane, the jet, and kind of just stops, like, on the rooftop and just kind of looks at it. And kind of starts looking around rather nervously.
It's a pretty nice day, all things considered. I mean, there's definitely, looking around, there's definitely some dents in the roof. There's some laser marks, a hammer mark, and you're pretty sure that's where Anton tripped.
I remember that.
The door hasn't been repaired yet because earlier Anton decided to bust through it, not once but twice.
I was gonna say, didn't that happen, like, in-game 5 minutes ago?
About an hour ago in game.
Lutra stands outside and just kind of looks down. Looks out over the rooftop. He's also not moving.
I kind of just look over at Anton and ask him to go talk to the otter and see what's going on.
Why do I always have to talk to the otter?
He likes you.
He likes hiding behind me, but, I mean, I have a shield. Can you blame him? Fine, I'll go talk to the otter. I guess I'll make my way to the roof.
I'm gonna go to my bedroom to retrieve the package that Casey had left for me.
Alright, so you make your way up to the roof where you see an otter staring blankly off into the horizon.
Hey there, Brennan. You okay?
Lutra kind of doesn't really respond at first and kind of looks over his shoulder gently towards you and kind of shakes his head and looks back. Not really.
Well, a lot of dents up here. I really think we should, put some traps or something up here. This is getting silly. What do you think?
Sure, I guess. It'll be fine. Guess everything will be fine, won't it?
So, what did you find at your house?
An apartment was ransacked. Someone's been there. It's been found. I can't go back there.
Oh, you're here with us. You're fine.
Right. Yeah. I'm here. Lutra just turns away and just walks towards the plane, the jet.
At this point, I guess I'll make my way up to the jet as well.
Yes, I'll follow behind.
So we're just waiting for the pilot.
Suddenly, the door to the rooftop just slams open, and Spectre just walks to the ship, walks to the driver's seat, pilot seat, and just sits down, takes off without even warning the others that he's doing so.
Just sits as far away from everybody as he can.
I just kind of look over my shoulder and I'm just like, "You good?"
He doesn't respond to you. In fact, he's not looking at you. He's looking down at the floor. And he does not look good. In fact, as the flight goes on, Lutra kind of grabs his head and look. It does. So he like puts his elbows like on his knees or on his legs or whatnot, and kind of like grabs his head and just looks down at the floor and looks more and more like he's starting to starting to cry angrily.
I just kind of look over at Anton and just kind of like nod back at him.
I didn't do it.
So you've got an angry pilot, an angry otter, and yeah. Anything else happening before you make your way over to the desert?
Are we there yet?
That's up to your pilot, not me.
Oh, I'm just driving there. Like, I may be speeding a little, if there's such a thing in a jet, but
You're definitely pushing the engines to the max.
what the others in the plane don't know is I'm also creating a tailwind to sort of get us there faster, too.
So with the excessive speed that you are going at, it doesn't take you too long to get to... Well, are you going to the middle of the desert, the outskirts of the desert? Where exactly in the Mojave are you headed?
Where did Intel tell me I should be going?
All you had was desert. Your intel was Lutra saying that he remembers escaping from a desert.
Brandon! Is the otter alive?
Well, as you yell his name, you hear a frustrated scream as you get right near the area of the desert, but you're not entirely sure where it came from, and you get no actual response from the otter.
I look back to see if he's even acknowledging me.
You don't see him.
Anton? Mock here. Where's the little dude?
It was Intern's turn to watch him.
That was very Quagmire. That was very Quagmire.
I like that.
Is it always my turn to watch him? Someone else take a turn. He hides behind me all the time. I mean, I don't mind protecting, but like, why do I have to keep track of everyone here?
Like I said, he likes you. He's afraid of me, and he doesn't like this ghost either.
I mean, to be fair, we're all kind of a little bit afraid of him.
I just landed the ship.
Before that,
Get the otter back on board.
don't we have do we have tracking on him?
Did anyone place a tracker on the otter?
Can we roll perception to see if we see like footprints or anything like that?
I mean, where are footprints going to roll on the jet?
Oh, that's true. I figured we landed by now. He jumped out, but
You haven't quite landed. Okay, you have landed now. Because there was nothing that you guys did occur. So yeah, you do land. You're somewhere randomly. Actually, pilot, give me a number. 1 to 20.
12.
Okay.
Damn it!
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's noted for me. So you land somewhere near the middle of the desert, but not quite in the exact middle.
I just said damn it because I was going to say 13.
So the jet lands.
Good, because I'm not going to roll for that.
Also, is your perception really +1?
No.
Okay.
I didn't roll +1.
so I hop out of the jet and I start looking around.
First thing you notice as the doors open is you're in a desert. It's bleeping hot.
Should have put air conditioning in this tin can.
Don't you mean liquid cooling?
That's cause of a dust storm.
Yeah, so
Cooling?
But yeah, you open the door, you kind of get bombarded by, I mean, it's Bay City again, it's San Francisco, Oakland, it's for the most part fairly comfortable. This is a lot more heat than you are used to. And as Spectre noted there for you, you walk out into, well, what appears to be a dust storm.
Alright, so I'm obviously going to leave my outer ropes inside the
Wait, there is
plane.
a dust storm right now?
The remnants of your tailwind.
Oh, okay.
It's like, right, that wind stuff. Can't you, undo that or something? Or, shoot it backwards?
Right, no, it's basically the remnants of it, because
Okay.
wind is still going to keep going. Even if he dissipates it, it's still
Right.
going to have some effects.
Fair enough.
Basically, right now, if I tried to blow it away, it would just cause a bigger dust storm.
Right, so just letting it sort of blow out. Basically, what's happening right now is visibility is affected a little bit, so your perception checks or any checks involving visuals are at -2 for a little bit, just because. And I'll apply that on my end, just because of the dust flying around.
Can we do a perception check to see any abnormalities in the dust storm and see if we can pin down where the...
You certainly can.
I'm sure I'll roll 1, but...
Hey, that's not a 1. You see sand. Lots and lots of sand. Anton, on the other hand... Spectre, you also see lots and lots of sand. Anton, on the other hand, because of the way your visor stuff works, you're able to focus a little more. And you look all around, and off in the distance, basically heading towards the nose of or past the nose of the plane, so basically someplace where you would have kind of landed had you kept going, you see, you're not entirely sure what it is, but you see what appears to be something not organic sticking out of the sand a good ways down.
Hey, Malakir Spectre, look at this.
Look
I
at
just
what?
kinda-
Sam?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to it and start excavating it.
Well, it's going to take you a little bit to get there, so. But yeah, I mean, you can go over there, and the closer you get, I mean, it's. The best way I can describe it, has anybody seen the DuckTales movie, Search for the Treasure of the Lost Lamp?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes!
so when Launchpad trips over the pyramid top?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
exact scene I'm picturing right now.
Wow. Wow.
So is this otter upside down, ass up in the sand?
No.
No. I'm just wilding
that would
because
be
the
funny.
movie. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically that's sort of what happens. Just like some little thing sort of sticking up out of the sand. So as you go to sort of start digging around, I mean, there is a lot of sand. So even with with Anton's capabilities, it's still going to take a good while to excavate some of this. But the description I'm sort of going to give is, I know you'll get this one, Krim. Who's played Final Fantasy X?
Me.
Also
Yeah.
played.
Basically, picture the ruins of home from the Albed.
Thanks, Discord, but yeah, I get the idea now.
Yeah.
Think of home of the Albad, you said?
Yes. It's basically that I had the name of the island written down, but it's basically, how you're going on that, and it's sort of like all sort of a mess, and there's just things buried in sand. That's kind of what this is.
Okay.
Lutra, if you are around the area where they are, go ahead and give me a will save.
I'm not sure I actually want to pass this, to be honest. Crap, I don't know where. I closed my window. Oh, 1 second.
Well, it is hot in the desert, so that would be why you want to close your window.
Right, yeah, absolutely. That's the wrong button.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, unfortunately, 19 is not going to be enough to make it considering what this is. So first things first, you're going to get a hero point for this, because once you see Anton start to dust off some of this, you immediately recognize the design of the buildings. So you're going to get a hero point because you're going to get a massive flashback to the day you escaped. Those are the same style buildings.
You all start hearing Lutra audibly like chattering. I don't even know how to describe it. You just hear him like breathing heavily behind you. Yeah, like that. Seething, actually, would be a good way of putting it.
I just gotta look over my shoulder and be like, you can decloak now, we know you're there.
He doesn't respond to you.
Is Anton still chipping away at the...
Yeah, I'm still. Hey, Spectre, can you blow some of this dust off of this thing? Sand?
Do you have your visor down right now?
I mean, I always have my visor down.
Okay, then.
I just walk away. Looks I'm like way far ahead.
So go ahead real
Just-
quick, Spectre.
But, what's that?
I said go ahead and give me a power check on whatever wind ability you're using to blow some of the sand away.
Oh God.
So just use the attack of the ability?
Whichever you want. Basically, a power check would be D20 plus whatever the rank is of the power. So if it's your attack, I think it's a rank 10. So it'd be a D20 plus 10.
Okay, well, it's going to do the air blast, so I'll just roll that.
Yeah.
What the hell? Did you touch my dice star?
So still feeling the effects of whatever reason he hasn't said anything. Instead of going wide, he's sort of focusing on areas at a time. So the sand is getting cleared in a faster manner than what Anton was doing, but it's still sort of slow going. After about 45 minutes or so, you're not going to have fully cleared out everything, but you will have cleared out enough to get to a window opening. And because of the nature of how it was turned in the sand, it's actually accessible.
How big is this window?
Well, it's a window that anyone can fit in. But as this window appears, you are all going to hear a very angry otter scream. And you'll see footprints in the sand sprinting towards the window. Also, Spectre, you're going to get a comm device that you're not going to see until it's basically coming at you, sort of nail you right in the chest.
Discord just...
Alright, so what part of that did we miss?
Most of
Pretty much
it.
all of it.
Of course. Why am I not surprised? Discord is discording.
Everything after you roboted.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe we should look into using Skype, possibly.
Oh God, not Skype.
Google Hangouts is actually probably easier.
Indeed.
Anyway, so once the so for those of you at home, you're going to get the second time version of this. So basically, as the window appears, you all hear an angry scream, which you know came from the otter. You see footprints in the sand rushing towards the window, and at the same time, Spectre is going to get hit in the chest with something. Bending down to look at it, it's a comm device.
Do I even recognize this comm device?
Oh yeah, it's Lutra's.
Okay. I don't know because, I'm solo rolling like crap.
Are you sure you're not on Dark's PC right now?
What kind of device?
Communication device.
It's Lutra's comm device.
Oh, comm. I thought you were saying calm. Like,
No, comm, C-O-M-M.
gotcha.
But he needs a calm device now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lutra forgot to take his joy today. Okay.
Guys, we gotta get a move on. Otter's in trouble.
Yeah.
I just kind of jog back over to them.
So, I mean, it's... Okay, so heading into the window, it's actually kind of weird because you would think being buried under the sand like it was, this would be full of sand, and there is definitely some sand in the crevices here. You know, like a day at the beach, the buildings got sand in places it didn't know it had places. But strangely enough, you can go in this window, and once you sort of get yourself oriented a little bit, you can actually sort of walk around and get to a staircase.
Well, let's head down the staircase. Sure.
We're gonna do a perception check to see if we notice anything out of line with this.
Okay.
What is the
God damn it!
Nope, you noticed
No,
nothing.
I'm not on Dark's PC. Apparently, he just infected mine.
Although, for those of you who are playing the Malkier Rolls drinking game at home, take a drink.
We're sorry.
Hey, that was a 3, not a 1. All right.
Yeah, a three is just a swig of beer. The ones are the shots.
Well, then half the chat's gonna be plastered.
They're already dead from about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, thanks, Dark. Way to kill our viewers.
And we get sued for alcohol poisoning. Good night, everybody.
Hey, we got a lawyer. We're good.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Well, it is criminal defense.
That's not criminal defense. That's what we call civil, sir.
That's civil law, definitely. And trust
Civil
me,
law.
there's
Like
nothing
civil
civil about us.
That's okay. He'll just turn into the otter and use his cuteness to get us out of it.
Yes. Absolutely.
And this is the disclaimer. Please do not play the Malkier drinking game. You will not make it.
And those of
You
us
have
here at
been warned.
Randomania are not responsible if you do decide to play the Malkier drinking game.
Or if you do, just make sure there's a lot of ice in your drink. In
And
fact, make your drink ice.
I hate you all.
Virgin.
so what you see, Malkier, is stairs. Stairs in darkness.
You don't get a light switch? I mean, I guess we are in a thing in the desert. There's probably not a light switch.
You probably have a flashlight on your suit, though.
Oh, hey, yeah, I probably do. Can I turn that on?
Do you know where the on switch is?
Sometimes.
And as long as you know where the on switch is, you can turn on your flashlight.
I'll turn the flashlight on.
Oh, gosh.
Anton just turned himself on.
Chat, show's over. Goodbye.
We're done.
You know, the sad thing is I bet the otter would have found that button before Anton did.
Probably.
Yep.
So you turn the light on, and it's it's your typical ominous-looking downward spiral staircase. Because we're tropey like that.
Ooh, tropey. Who wants to go down first? Oh, wait. I'm the guy in the tin can with the shield. I guess I'll go down first.
So you descend,
Yes.
and descend, and descend, and descend. You do pass some doors along the way, but you're fairly certain opening them would probably just cause a bunch of sand to fall in.
Right now, I'm just following the open path.
Yeah. It's probably a good couple of minutes of a descent, but you eventually do reach the bottom of this tower / whatever it is.
Oh, it does have a bottom. Yay! Ground floor,
That makes sense.
otters, and other stuff.
At least a few of us have an easy trip up that.
So as you reach the bottom, there is your, looks like a nice opening to a hallway of some sort. What are you guys doing?
Shine a light down the hallway.
It's a hallway.
Ooh.
Wait. I know this one. Hold on. Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the hall.
Sorry. You
Ah!
lose. It was
Darn
the
it.
revolver.
Ah!
I'll start walking down the hallway.
Alrighty. So
You're walking?
And we're walking, and we're walking.
Yep.
So I'm gonna follow like behind them, but with an eye out behind us, just to make sure we don't get ambushed.
Alrighty. In that case, go ahead and give me a perception check, Dark.
Oh, we're hosed.
Yup.
God damn it!
Hey!
We're not gonna die.
Yeah, is this where I
No,
tell you?
at least you got-
Is this where I tell you nothing was going to be planned to jump you, so you just wasted a good roll?
You did that just to troll me, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, sorry, not sorry. So you are keeping track of everything behind you. So what are you doing at the front of the line, Anton?
Kind of just investigating, looking around the hallway to see what paths are there and kind of shine the light down them.
Alrighty. Well, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I can't perceive where my perception check is.
Alright, so nothing really strikes you as odd about this hallway, except for the fact that it feels very office-like. I mean, you're walking down, you see doors. A lot of the doors have like the engraving section on them where you can slide a name tag into them. Like, this is the office of so-and-so, one of those type of deals. You don't see any name tags on the offices. And looking in, I mean, considering the disarray that you saw the up front section in, it's not as destroyed down here as you would expect it to be.
Does it look like anyone's been here recently outside of us?
There are at least, I mean, if you're going to make a rough estimate, 3 or so years of dust down here. But you can see one thing very clearly. You can tell where there has been other footprints, specifically otter-sized footprints.
Keep following the otter.
So you're going to end up coming at the end of this hallway, and it's going to open up into a huge room. And this is a very interesting room because it doesn't sort of fit in everything you would think would be down here. It almost looks like an obstacle course or a training facility. You're not entirely sure, but there are like, you know, basically the best way I can describe it is it kind of looks like what would happen if you combined like the course that dogs run in through like the dog training course combined with the obstacle course from American Gladiators. Does that make sense?
Do they have the big Nerf gun shooting thing?
No.
Aww.
Oh.
Well, there's a spot where it looks like it could have been.
Hey.
So start kind of looking around the room and Yes.
All right, go ahead. This is a new room, so anyone who wants to look around, I will take perception checks. Are you sure that dark didn't infect your keyboard there, Krim?
Oh, I believe you did.
Okay. Look at that, single digits again. Anyway.
Hold on, I need to reboot.
So, Anton, you actually get a really, really good look at this whole thing. And the one thing that you now notice after sort of being taken aback by the obstacle course nature of this is every section looks like it has some sort of setup for a monitoring station. Like there are stands, like keyboard. It looks like places where you could set computers and all that. So it looks like every section has a place where whatever you're going through, and doing.
Almost like a lab.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't like to say the L word in front of the otter.
No.
Who's not there right now. You also do notice, because you got such a high score here, you actually do notice the path of the footprints.
Alright, guys, follow me. I know where we're going, or at least where he's going. And, this place is weird.
So I just kind of follow behind, but let's still keep an eye out behind us.
No, fair enough. So again, it's going to take you a little while to continue on. Spectres rage is building. Spectres attack Rose. When is Spectre learning outrage?
Soon, TM.
David Lutra!
Oh, shots fired!
We'll be right back after both Dark and Krim apply Burn Heal. Wow.
Followed by the beating of the otter.
Right.
There, I rolled above a 10.
You successfully apply Burn Heal.
Well, kind of. I actually only rolled a 6.
Well, you beat the 10, so you're good.
Alright, the two of you recovered from your burns. Let's keep exploring this place.
So you managed to follow the footprints, and they lead you again down the hallway, and you end up at not necessarily the end of the hallway, but the prints sort of at the end of this hallway. It's sort of like a round room, and there are a bunch of doors like in the room. It almost looks like a round sort of dormitory style setup, and there is one particular door. This one's pretty obvious.
Obvious door is obvious. Let's go to it.
Well, it's pretty obvious because it's kicked open.
Hey, that's my job.
Yes. It is kicked open. And
Hey guys. He went this way.
So you head into the store, and you come into this room, and it looks like a very, very primitive sort of bedroom. I mean, there's definitely some dust in this room. The thing that... go ahead and give me an insight check, all of you. And somewhere there'll be single digits from Dark. Either way, as I said, single
Yep, there it
digits
is.
from Dark. Spectre beat the 15. So the big thing that you notice about this particular room is that the dust in here seems a little thicker than everywhere
That's
else.
because I would have actually had a... Because I have a favored element of error.
Yeah, but the dust in this room seems a little thicker. And also the other thing that catches your eye, or you specifically here, is that there seems to be one spot that just something doesn't look right about this one spot. It's huddled over in a corner, and you do kind of see footprints. The footprints walk in and head to a corner. So, that is what you see. Alright, so you guys hear crying from said corner.
Found him.
Is there anything around? I'm not trusting after what happened with Connor before.
As far as you can see, there is nothing around. Like I said, this is the remnants of an old bedroom. You don't see anything. I mean, here's that. What you see is what appears to be basic, if anything, accommodations. I mean, this accommodations are almost medieval. Like, there's a bed, there's a chamber pot, legitimately a chamber pot. And there's not a whole lot else in there. So there's nothing in the room or on the outside of the room that catches your eye, just the crying.
Is that you, Brandon?
It takes Lutra a long time, but he doesn't really respond to your question, but you hear him mutter the following words. I want to go home.
I just kind of go over to him
You can't see him.
just kind of kneel by him. Well, we heard his voice. I know what direction he's in. And he said it was coming from a corner, therefore there's only one direction.
I'll gingerly walk over there to avoid stepping on, tails and legs and stuff.
Appreciate it.
Well, that's why I'm just like, Brandon, what's going on? We've been through a lot already together. What's going on here?
And what is this place?
This is where I lived most of my life, right here. right in this room. This is where I was kept. I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore.
We can take that into consideration after figure out what exactly here is. But right now, we need you with us.
Need me? You don't. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. This is where I was kept for my whole life.
You know what I've been through. I've told you my story. I know you know how I know how you feel. But right now, we need to figure out
How
what we're
could you
doing.
know how I feel? I have a home. I
Yeah,
have a
you're
home
right.
someplace
You're right.
now.
You do have a home. I have no home. My home was taken from me just like yours was.
I want to go. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be someplace where I can have my actual family. Not a bunch of people who do nothing but pick on me and don't let me tell them things and throw my food on the floor and I get attacked all the time and a stupid computer that hates me for some stupid reason and my only safe place is gone and Lucha screams again.
And for the other two in the room, this is not something you've seen ever. Spectre has pulled back his hood. Revealing a very, very ghostly visage.
You should get that looked at, man.
Was that OPT or was that Lutra?
Sorry.
Okay, that was OPT.
Yeah, that was not.
And
I just kind of like do a double take and just kind of take us one step back, but not like fully. I may utter a expletive underneath my breath.
Brandon, believe me when I tell you that nothing I've ever done has been to insult you. I have been super glad that you're here with us, helping us. And I understand this isn't where you want to be. Nor is this where you should be. None of us should be here. And I will do my damnedest to help you find a way back to where you can call home.
It's on another planet. No one's gonna be able to get me there. I don't even know how I got here. I don't even know why I got here.
Well, hopefully, as we search for answers, we can find yours.
Speaking of answers, this place looks very. I'm not going to say it. I know how you feel about the subject. L-like. Do you know if there was any record rooms or where we could probably get some information, possibly?
It's not like they let me walk around all over the place. I found a couple of notes here. The only person I ever trusted.
Alright, and with that, I will unarchive all of these notes.
Like,
Please.
appearing before you guys is like a bunch of papers that kind of drop to the floor. As Lutra lets go of them, and they come outside of the realm of his belt, which is still on, by the way.
You guys all have the 6 notes that just popped up, right?
I don't.
Nope.
got one now.
Yeah, I got to do these in order. Don't read the first. I'm gonna give these to you, not quite in order. I'm just going in the way they had sort of popped up, because apparently I have to manually give everybody access to them if we're gonna do that. So it is easier to read these in order. So here's one coming up. And I will pop these on screen in order for people at home to read as well. Just let me get these taken care of.
While that's happening, I pull out of my pocket a device and look at the otter. And Brandon, did you throw this at me?
I wasn't really paying attention where I was throwing it.
Would you like it back?
Oh, bugger.
What'd you do?
I kind of messed up on note 6. And apparently deleted it.
I still have it up.
Yeah. Not sure how.
You want the deck?
I still
You
see
need the
nothing.
text, or you still have it?
I know what it is, basically. Why? Alright.
Lutra doesn't really respond to you, but he does kind of reach his hand up, but you can't see. And he does gently take it from you, and it disappears as he takes it.
Oh,
I just kind of look down and can you please take the cloak off? You know where you are.
What cloak are you... No. Don't feel like it right now.
Yeah, let's leave yourself cloaked. That may be beneficial.
You hear him
I'm gonna pick
shuffling around. You hear him shuffling around, which is him actually turning while seated on the ground to look towards you. Not that, again, you could see that, but...
Okay. As you do that, you notice something. Because of your vision abilities, you notice something faint yellow sticking out of Spectre's pocket.
Faint and yellow?
Looks like what would be a box of Swedish fish.
Oh.
Lewd.
Really?
leave my banana out of this.
Really? Yeah, I sent you that on Discord if you needed that again.
Yeah, no, I have it written down. I'm just gonna retype it out real quick.
Alright.
And this episode gets the PG-13 rating.
And she kind of sighs, and he does finally, like, you start hearing the beeps you're used to hearing from him, and he does reappear finally. He's sitting in the corner. His legs are kind of pulled up to his chest. Just looks around and says, "This is where they used to just keep me here. It's when they let me sleep. They would let me here. Spent most of my time in here. Most of my time out there. A few other places."
I kind of just walk over to him and sit next to him and just put my hand on his shoulder. Just not, just like in a comforting manner. Kind of like what he did to me on the roof.
He lets you do that and doesn't shy away or anything. Just kind of just looks down still and says, "I don't know what they wanted. I don't know what they were doing. Well, at least I didn't until I saw some of this. Points to some of the notes. EY. That's him. That's the only...
There you go. You should
Only
have
one of
note
them.
6 again.
It's the only one of them I could ever call. I guess a friend? I don't know.
Alright, so for those of you watching at home, I've got note 1 up on the board right now.
Note 3 has disappeared for me. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Note 3 has disappeared?
Like when I open it, I just get a grayed out box. Oh, there it goes. I fixed it.
Sometimes they would want me to do something, and they wouldn't tell me what. And they wouldn't let me sleep until I did it. That would be days sometimes. I think. Never really could tell too much. Dr. Joris. He was nice to me. He would talk to me. He's the only one who would really talk to me. He called me Brandon. I remember now. He called me Brandon. That's where I got the name from. I couldn't remember.
You don't
I
like
don't
the
know
name
why he
Brandon?
called.
You don't like the name Brandon?
I do. I use it as human, but it's not my name. I don't really tell anybody my name because I don't want them to. If it gets used a lot, then they'll find me. I've been trying to tell you guys because I trust you, but
I think I can get used to calling you that.
offhand hears it that someone else hears it, and then they find me again. I've never really said that name out loud. I haven't really. Why did we come here?
We're still looking for the Ark.
I think that's the ship I came here in.
We're not sure. But
Can
I
you
know
think of
this
any
much.
other rooms in this facility that we haven't looked at yet that could be hiding something?
Anything could be. I don't really know much of this place, just a few things. And I know the way out of here, only because I used it to escape. Dr. Joris made this belt for me.
Tra, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Pull that window up, pull it.
Alrighty, when he asked you that question, there is one thing that strikes your mind. You can always remember back when you were in the obstacle course room, there was always a mysterious shadow looking at you from the room above it. You couldn't make out who he was, you couldn't see him, just his shadow staring down over the course, looking down through the window.
Above the obstacle course. Above the room, the testing room. There's something. There was someone watching from above. Maybe there's a room on the floor above us.
I just
Are you
kind of stand
okay?
up and reach down to him, lift him up if he wants to.
And she looks up and it takes him a moment, but he grabs your hand.
I just kind of like lift him to his feet.
And she collects all the notes again because he's I'm still reading them over and over again. He looks down at one of them and says, "He actually made a note of the day I escaped."
Lutra, are you going to be okay in here?
No.
All right. If you need to hide, you know where to hide.
Yeah.
I got you.
Thanks.
Give me, as you pick up the note about the day you escaped, give me another insight check, please. All right. You do remember that the note says something about keeping it somewhere safe. The only other place you can think of that would be safe would be Dr. Yoris's office, which you know where that is as well.
I do. Okay.
He pointed it out to you on the map before you escaped.
Gotcha.
It's a couple doors down, basically, back in the hallway.
So as we all kind of walk down the hallway, instead of saying anything, I just kind of immediately deviate towards that room.
I'm still kind of just like scoping out behind us just in case.
Hey, Lutra, what are you looking for?
He said someplace safe. I wonder if that's his office.
Well, let's go look.
I walk towards his office
You walk towards his office.
and enter if the door's open.
Door is unlocked.
So much for safe. No, sorry. Hey, go inside.
Alrighty. It's a typical cubicle-style office.
Start looking around, like, in drawers, under desks, behind paintings, in the bush, or the plant, whatever.
It takes you a little bit. Well, the plant's long dead, by the way. It takes you a little while, but you do manage to find something. It took you a couple tries to find it, but when you pull out the big bottom drawer of the desk, it doesn't dawn on you till like the second or third time that seems a lot shallower than it should. So you open it up, you find the false bottom, and staring there as you pull up the false bottom is a very appropriately otter-sized crossbow.
She kind of looks down and stares at this thing, like, is that it?
The other thing you will notice when you pick it up is engraved on the handle is the name Brandon.
I wonder what forced him to get me out of here before you finish this. Lutra picks up the crossbow.
There is a satchel of bolts there next to it as well. Some of them look normal, some of them look a little on the tech side.
Just tilts his head on me this. Hey, does anyone know how this works?
I just kind of reach my hand over to him.
To you, Malkir, this is basically a hand crossbow.
Well, I know, but I'm a weapons master. I can kind of tell him how it works.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying size-wise, it's basically a hand crossbow for you.
Yeah, so I'm like gentle with it, so I don't like destroy it. But
Right. So, I can see as Malkir is teaching him about this thing that Lutra loads a crossbow bolt and immediately plunks it directly into the wall. Oh! Okay.
Tink!
That's a thing.
Tink, tink, tink.
I just kind of look at him and just be like, careful.
Right, trigger, right. Okay,
Great,
gotcha.
great. Now the otter's got a gun to shoot me with too.
Not a gun, it's a crossbow.
Close enough at this point. It's being
I
shot.
just go over and salvage his. I go over and salvage his bolt that he shot into the wall for him.
Oh, thank you. Lutra is just like completely entranced by this device.
Is there anything else of
The other
interest
thing-
in the room?
Nothing of too greater interest. It actually looks like, for the most part, it's been abandoned for a while. The other big thing that you do notice, Lutra, is the color scheme of the crossbow surprisingly matches the color scheme of your outfit.
Huh. How could he have known? That's so weird.
I just kind of look at him out of the corner of my eye, and I'm just kind of say, don't take this wrong way, but maybe he had other reasons for wanting you to escape.
I don't know.
We can't stick around here too long. We should get up to that other room and get out of here.
I just kind of start walking towards the door.
Lutra follows, but he's just being slow because he's still.
Because he's still discorded.
Doing so slowly because he's still looking this thing over. He's like, just like looking at it, kind of studying it and whatnot. Also shoots another bolt off into another wall.
Tink! Tink, 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 tink.
Okay. Right, trigger.
Yeah, let's keep that unloaded until you need it.
Right. Probably a good idea.
I just kind of shake my
Sorry,
head. I was gonna say, I just shake my head and take the bolt out for him again.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just making sure I knew how to load it, I think.
I just kind of look at him and just be like, one of them is metal, one of them is a specter. That's gonna sink to me pretty far, so just watch where you're aiming that thing.
Right. Yes, of course.
So after the detour into the office, I'm assuming you guys are trying to make your way back towards the observation room, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
So it takes you a little while to get up there because Lutra only knew the path out, not the path up. So it takes you guys probably about a half an hour to figure out which doorway is going to lead you to where you need to get to. But you do eventually make your way into what you thought was an observation room, but appears to be just a really, really big office with a window overlooking the testing facility.
I'm sure there was more to that, but I only caught half of it. The rest was silence.
Basically, it takes you guys a while to find the proper door to get up to what you thought was an observation room, but in reality is more like an office with a window overlooking the test facility.
Is there anything to loot or pillage?
It actually looks like it's been pretty well cleaned out. But you are more than welcome.
Is there a name on the door? Or...
Nope.
Yeah, sure. I'll look around.
Again, it had one of those little slotty thingies that did not have a name in it.
I'll take a look around.
Don't even bother because Lutra's going to get the thing that you need here.
Okay.
Lutra, looking around in his shuffling, frenetic, trying to figure out what the hell was going on here, does find one note that was left with the clean out. Here you all go.
Lutra looks us over and looks us over and says, it just at one point first says, it. It's really how they kept referring to me. Oh no, they knew Dr. Yours was involved. fighter pilot? Looks over at you, Spectre.
So Lutra's looking over at Spectre.
Said OPT.
I just, does everybody see this note, or is it just me?
I don't have that screen up. Hold on.
But so yeah, there is a note available to everybody.
Which is just kind of muttering some of the words up there, and then he says, "Fighter pilot?" And looks over at you.
Who the hell is RQ?
Is that Spectre saying that?
That is Spectre saying that.
Give me an insight check. You're not sure. Yeah, you are definitely not sure.
All right. Anyone else ready to get out of this place? Because I'm kind of done. Hey, Lutra, you want to have some fun for a second? My hammer. Would you like to smash some things?
Lucha kind of, at first shakes his head, but he doesn't say no. Instead kind of looks at your hammer, and then looks back at, everything else. He takes your hammer. He goes back down the obstacle course room. And he takes a big breath, and he just starts hitting things very hard. As hard as his 9 strength can hit, darn it. And he keeps doing this, and he doesn't look like he's going to stop until somebody comes and stops him.
I guess I should go get my hammer back. Hey, Lutra!
Yep.
I had no intentions of stopping.
And for those of you who are trying to imagine this at home, just picture a montage of hammer-wielding Otter just destroying the American Gladiator set. And just go with that.
Hey, Lutra! I think you got him. I'm gonna need that back though, because I'm sure we're gonna have to deal with something sooner or later.
He clearly hears you and continues anyway for a little bit longer, and then finally gives a huff and walks back to you. Kind of like, when I say hands you your hammer back, he holds it up and kind of pushes it into your chest. Not like roughly or anything, just kind of like a, here, take it.
Just like mic drop walking away from the explosion.
Right. And he looks absolutely exhausted. He's breathing heavily.
Feel better?
Yeah. A little bit.
Let's get out of here.
Let's.
So, those of you who are able to climb or get out easily can, take your preferred route. I'm taking the stairs. Unless you know a better way out of here.
I think I technically do, but...
Yeah, but your route's buried in sand now.
Right.
Y'all coming?
Oh, I'm going.
I'm already upstairs.
So who's the last one out?
Actually, it would probably be.
That'd be me, because I was the one who was hanging out behind.
All right, as
That's
you're
right.
leaving, give me a perception check.
So you want a 1?
I want you to roll it. I mean, I know what I'm expecting. Hey, that
was
wasn't
my
a 1.
Hey!
Hey, I think that's the highest you've ever rolled.
I had a couple 20s.
So you're
Hey,
not-
crits when we don't want him to.
Yeah, exactly. So something about, as you're walking up the stairs, you sort of start up the stairs and you sort of look back and you think you thought you saw or heard something, like something's watching you, but you're not sure. Like, you can't be sure.
I just pause and kind of turn around and take a couple steps back then.
You see nothing.
Alright, so I would head up with the group then.
All right, Malkir is the last one up through the window.
We should have Mr. Casey come secure this for us.
Lutra kind of looks back at the place. Just kind of stands there. And looks down at his crossbow.
Hey, Krim.
Yeah, what?
4-3 Phillies.
Yeah, no. There's still 3 innings. Boston's fine.
And this sports break brought to you by
Indeed.
Cookies.
Swedish fish.
Swedish fish. So, as he turns around and starts walking back to everybody, he kind of walks over towards Spectre and nudges him gently.
Spectre pulls out the Swedish fish in his pocket.
He just smiles and takes it.
I know this is rough on you.
Rough? I'm not even sure that's the word I'd use.
It's about the only word that I can feasibly use to describe this in a nice sense right now.
Yeah. You're not kidding. Never thought I'd come back here. Didn't
We still
even
have a
realize
puzzle
that's
to
where we were
solve.
going.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how exactly did you get off the ship?
Oh, I walked off after I waited for you guys to leave. I never left until after you did.
Could have sworn the yell that we heard was off the ship.
No, it was on.
Hey, don't look at me. I'm in a tin can. I blame Malkir.
I'm still kind of like distracted, like looking behind me, so I'm not really paying attention to him.
Come on, Malkir, let's see if we can solve this riddle of the Ark and
Actually, before
Listen,
that, Lutra kind of goes over to him and says, "So, Melchior, is something wrong?"
I just kind of look down and just say we were being watched.
From where?
I don't know, but I felt it.
Lutra looks around.
You see sand. Lots and lots of sand.
Oh, there's a lot of sand around. Oh, do you think there's nanobots in the sand?
let's hope not.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Hey, Lutra, would you like to bury this place?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
I start to whip up a whirlwind to collect sand and guide it over to that area and just dissipate the winds to let the sand start falling in the general area.
Yeah, you pretty well bury it.
Lucha kind of watches this happen, like almost mesmerized.
Pull the GPS out and mark the coordinates so we know where it is if we need to.
Nice.
And we'll make sure we'll get something to secure this so that no one else finds it. Yeah, like our rooftop. I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Yeah, no, not at all. Let's get out of here.
Hey man, I'm getting on the plane.
We get on the plane, and as we get on, I nudge Lutra and point to the green ignition button, sort of egging him on to go push it.
Lucha kind of looks up at you and looks at the button, looks back up at you, and so kind of like looks up at you with a look that like says, "Really?" Like it's slightly looking excited again.
Go ahead, you've earned it.
Kind of steps forward and takes a breath, takes a moment, and reaches up and pushes the button.
At the initial push, nothing happens. Then about 3 seconds later, the engines fire up.
And it breaks like Lutra.
Must have been all that sand.
Right. God, I didn't even remember it was out here. I made my way to the city from out here. Took me a long time, but then I made my way to Bay City. A few places first, here and there. Huh. Gosh, it was only 3 years ago. It seems like so long. I'm such a rush, I don't remember a lot of it.
I wish I could remember some things.
Look back at it and says, feels like we all do. I wish I knew my parents. It's the idea of having parents. Looks around and says, so this maybe this is the desert I crash landed in. But if it is, where's my ship at?
Would you like me to message my friend and see if he can figure out any information on that?
Is it possible for him to know?
He's ex-CIA. If anyone might have an idea, as long as it wasn't covered up by a bunch of other people, he'd know.
Well, this one letter seems to make me think it is, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask. I wonder what this Tetra project is.
I just kind of look over at Lucha and just say, now we're clearing all the errors or anything else that's bothering you. But
I mean, a lot, but, you know.
Well,
Remembering
stuff that we can address here.
Oh, that? No. No, I'm sorry.
I just kind of say very well and just kind of put my head back down to go back to what we were doing.
Just remembering too much now. That's all. She kind of scampers to a empty row of chairs or whatever, just kind of sits down and lets himself relax. Which is actually one of the first times you've really seen him actually relaxed.
As you are contemplating everything, Malkir, go ahead and give me an insight check. "17 seems to be your number tonight, apparently."
No, that's my first 17.
Really? Right above it's another 17.
Oh, so it is.
I mean,
Those are higher than I'm used to, so.
It's got 2 digits. He had trouble counting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he only has 10 fingers, so. So, sitting back and, you know, something about this is bothering you. And you're trying to figure out how this all sort of ties together. And the one thing that keeps sort of going off in your head is a line that Casey said right before you guys left. Alright, Discord's being Discord. What'd you miss?
let's start over.
Okay. Again, Discord being Discord. Gotta love it, right? So, you're sitting there on the plane as everything's sort of taking off, and a lot of this is bothering you. Like, you're going back over everything in your head, and there's a line that Casey said right before you guys left that are sort of resonating with you a little bit. And the line was, "Sove sounds like a code name." And the reason that sort of resonates with you is because you're starting to remember a little more about your past, and nobody up until now, up until this past year or so, has ever referred to you as Malkir. You can't remember what they referred to you as, but you know it wasn't Malkir.
So I'd kind of just start muttering the word Sylvain underneath my breath, trying to like jog my memory. I kind of just like glance over at Lutra and just say, "Be thankful you can remember your name. I have no idea who I am."
So unless there's any other conversations that want to be had, it is a fairly uneventful plane ride back to Bay City. Okay then, it is a fairly uneventful plane ride back to Bay City.
That's odd.
What? Not everything has to have an encounter.
I'm gonna check the roof real quick.
Looks clear.
Looks
Alright, we're
where it
good.
is.
Yeah.
What is Spectre looking for?
Anything on the roof? You said it looks clear, but
It's clear. Nothing on the roof but the big dent where Anton tripped.
All right.
I'm surprised they haven't fixed that yet.
It was a pretty big dent.
That's true.
And we can see it up here in the jet. Hey, Lutra, what's for dinner?
I'll let you know when I get in the kitchen. She goes into the kitchen.
I just go to the like main relaxation room. I just open my newspaper and put my feet up and start reading the newspaper as I usually do.
It's still the same newspaper you were doing the Sudoku on earlier.
Yeah, I went back to my Sudoku because I'm trying to get the damn thing.
The same one from 3 days ago.
The 3 goes in that corner.
I just rip the paper in half and just toss it across the room.
Well, Lutra, you know what I need if you're cooking.
I want to know what's in the kitchen first, as far as ingredients go, like proteins.
Well, you've got a pork loin, you've got some chicken breast, and that's really about it. You've eaten all the fish.
She looks at the chicken breast and kind of shrugs and says, I know what this is. So he pulls it out. And?
Drum roll, please. Alright, so it's simple, but it's tasty. You guys get some chicken breast, and you're not sure how Lutra knew what this one was, but Lutra still manages to find a way to put seafood twists and turns in here. Apparently, Dr. Casey at least knows about the East Coast fare, because there was a thing of Old Bay seasoning. So this is Old Bay seasoned grilled chicken breast with, pick your side dish, rice of some sort. It's quite tasty.
Hey, this is good.
I actually eat Lutra's cooking for the first time and just kind of sit back in my chair eating it.
Richard looks down at the chicken breast. He eats a little. He eats it, but he doesn't look as enthusiastic about it. But he does look happy with what he's made. Especially seeing everybody else eat it too.
Family meal.
While we're sitting here, I'm going to turn the TV onto the roof monitor.
I kind of look up at the ceiling. I just say, AI thing, are you there?
Of course I'm here. What can I do for you?
Restock the fish, all of it.
Any specific type?
I said all of it.
You know how many fish there are that are for purchase?
She just perks up and says, "Salmon."
What he said.
Can do. I'll put it on the list. Oh, speaking of, Brandon, there is a bunch of things in your room.
Richard looks up and says, "Oh, my room? Okay. It's Lutra, actually."
Okay. I can do that.
Lutra politely excuses himself from the table and goes to his room.
You see anything that was salvageable from the apartment. Mostly clothes.
He goes into his room and you can hear him making like happy little otter noises.
Quote, happy little otter noises.
Yes.
Well, that's not disturbing sounding.
Mm.
Hey, can you shut the door? Keep it down a bit. Yeah. Everything all right in there?
Yeah, I've got my clothes back. Or some of them, anyway. I made some of these.
You can easily tell which ones he made.
Has it been a couple days since the apartment was ransacked?
Nope. Still the same day. It's almost, it's nighttime now, though, so it's been about 12 hours.
I just go over to the computer and start typing into it, just like kind of like cursing my breath. I'm not finding what I'm looking for. And I placed an Amazon order.
Okay. What is the order? Because Casey has very special levels of Amazon, so...
Amazon Black Web, or Dark Web.
Crossbows for dummies.
Crossbows
Not-
for
not-
dummies.
Not saying you're a dummy, but it's useful. It's helpful.
So, even though this is a weekend and it's nighttime, about a half an hour after Malkir's on the computer, you just hear a at the door.
Like
We don't
the
want
door-
any.
The door of the whole place? Like our loft area? Or like...
The door to your loft area, specifically.
Lutra
No,
pads over
no
to
solicitors.
it, and he opens the door.
There's a box sitting there. And
Hey, guys.
it's got the to line is, well, Lutra.
I got a package? How did I get a package here? Lutra
You-
picks
wait.
it up.
You got a package?
Apparently?
Who knows you're here?
I don't know. Lutra kind of
And you-
rips it up.
And you said it
Rips
was
open.
addressed to Lutra.
Yes, I know. This is not...
It is an Amazon
good.
box.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is it fish?
I don't know.
Well,
Lutra rips it open.
It's kind of fish. Staring back at you from the box is a brand new, undestroyed stuffed goldfish.
Lutra picks it up
Aww.
and kind of hugs it. It's just like Charlie.
I'm just picturing like a dog's tail just going back and forth right now.
Yeah, oh, the tail's going
Pretty much,
bananas.
Yes, it is. In fact, it's probably hitting things at this point.
Yeah, and the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, that's nice. What are you gonna name it?
Lutra kind of looks at it and says, "Oh, I already had Charlie. Can't name him that. It's not the same fish, but Chuck. Yeah, Chuck." He smiles and he hugs it again.
You gotta just still hear me cursing at the computer.
Are you good over there, Malkir? Nah, I'm just. Never mind. I'm out of here.
Lutra looks at the box and see if there's any indication of where this came from. I mean, other than Amazon.
Nope. It's got the typical gift receipting on it.
Hmm.
It has just the typical gift receipting.
Good night, Lutra.
I just turn the computer off in disgust without even like shutting it down. I just push the button so it turns off without going down the right way and just storing my room.
And Malkir has nightmares about a 3 in the upper right corner.
3.
I'm gonna dock my suit in the room.
Alright.
I'm up for about an hour and a half after everyone goes into the room, just sitting there staring. If any of them were to come out, they would think like I was just like petrified or something.
Does Spectre
Because
actually
I
sleep?
literally haven't moved.
Does Spectre actually sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't sleep, he more like angry naps.
Right. No, Lutra's completely
Angry
unconscious.
power nap.
After everything that's happened, he's emotionally just like drained right now, so he's asleep.
So Malkir's asleep, Anton's asleep, Lutra's asleep, and Spectre is sort of just staring off into the darkness.
Staring off in the darkness is usually my role.
I know, right?
No, your roll's usually a 1.
God damn it! I hope Saber kills you.
Oh,
Wow, pardon the use of language there. We'll have to bleep that out somehow in editing. For those of you who are wondering, right after this we record this, Nerestra has a race in the Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament versus Crystal Saber. Of the 3 randomizer tournaments we've had, I'm pretty sure Saber's won 2 of them.
And he's already in 9.
yeah.
So,
So,
Spectre, doing anything else special before calling it a night?
No, but when I'm finally done, I don't even go to my room. I just go to the common room couch and just pass out on there.
Alrighty. Fair enough. Fair enough. And this seems like a good a place as any to call it for the evening, because any and all adventures we get into next will probably go much longer than we have time for, because again, our lovely Mr. Anton here does have a Zelda 1 randomizer race coming up. Again, that will have long passed by the time you watch this, but that's just happening on the night of recording. So, with that, thank you all very much for watching yet again and putting up with our shenanigans. I hope that the 4 of you who are still watching haven't died of either laughter and or alcohol poisoning from the horrible rolling of Dark. I also thank you all for going with that lovely little emotional roller coaster ride that was Paradise Lost. This was issue 110. Again, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye.
bye.